it is.
I swear to God, if you start rapping over this,
radio, yeah.
if you, oh my Jesus,
Sorry.
oh God,
I can't help it, man. Once that music starts playing, I'm like, oh shit,
we're already getting started.
Let me spit some bars.
God,
pass the blunt.
Oh no! I can't. Listen. That'll be between you and other people. I can't. I cannot. What is the word? Imbibe.
Freestyle?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, imbibe and
no, I actually
imbibe and marijuana.
Yeah, I can't. Safety sensitive title and all. Yo, first off,
Indeed.
let me be hospitable here. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy Thursday to each and every one of you. Yeah, we're doing a bonus stream. That's why you see us early in the morning. My name is Isaiah Carter. As always, I am joined by Mr. Nostra Chavez here. I am coming to you, as always, from the County of Kings, the People's Republic of Brooklyn. And I don't know. I think this guy's like I think he lives next to Yale University or some shit. I don't know. Wherever you're at.
Parts unknown, man. Parts
unknown.
Like the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh my God, the Ultimate Warrior. Really? Wow, you're taking it all the way back. Wow. Yo, that guy, I'm gonna tell you what's hilarious.
I think I've seen him live, by the way, at the New Haven Coliseum.
No shit.
Back in the day, WWE, like Papa Shango versus Papa Shango, I think he fought.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like 6 or something, 7. My dad brought me.
So here's what's going on. Jimmy Owens.
Oh, what up, Jimmy?
A listener says first extreme. Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning,
welcome.
Jimmy.
Glad to have you come by. Yeah, why are we here at 11 a.m.? Well, those of you who watched our show with Dr. James Lindsay, shout to the Grand Master. We are so thankful still to have the founder of New Discourses come on last Sunday. And we were supposed to be discussing, the idea of the show was that we were all going to get together and watch what a struggle session looks like. There are, for those of you who aren't aware, or for those of you who are but just need to hear this so you know that you're not going crazy. America has been infiltrated by communists. We've been infiltrated by communists for a while now.
That can't be good.
But this is the first time in, I would say, since the 1960s that communists have become so much more aggressive than they had, than in years past. Before it was a very, subtle subversion,
clandestine.
And then it was clandestine,
fringe.
And then
gotten pretty mainstream lately.
And now over the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, made manifest more, I would say, in the past 4, with the Biden administration,
COVID,
and COVID,
George Floyd summer,
the summer of
Antifa
love,
summer,
Antifa summer, we are the communist elements that have infiltrated our country. Like, they're just out here now. They're out here. They are showing us who they really are. And as their power has waned, okay, they're going crazy. Okay. And as is usual with communists don't know how to fight anybody who isn't one of them. Okay. The worst of their vitriol is always reserved for one of their own who has strayed from the path. This is why, this is why, honestly, here at Apostate Radio, we are people who were Democrats at one point, and now we, by the grace of God, we are independent thinkers. Some of us, I think we both voted for Trump in 2024 and have caught a significant amount of hell for it. However, we will tell a communist, I know I will, that we'll just fuck you up. I mean,
that's always an option.
Right, that's always an option, okay? Because here's the thing. We don't have a problem getting up. I know I don't have a problem getting up in a commie's face and telling him where to go, okay?
Shouldn't be anywhere near my face, that's for sure.
But there are some who are not so, or not in such a privileged, I can't even call it a privileged position. There are some who aren't in that position. And what I want to do now is I want to present to you a gentleman that has been on our hearts and minds, the two of us, for several days now. Jonah Wheeler, who is a state representative in New Hampshire. He broke with his party and voted for a bill that basically resegregated bathrooms and other intimate spaces that women use.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who are, hold on. For those
his reasoning for that too, and I just watched his little speech about it, which took a lot of bravery. His fellow party members were walking out the door. People were applauding them walking out the door, and he acknowledged that, and he's like, "Look, just because one woman says that she's okay with biological males being in the bathroom with her, in prison with her, playing sports against her, doesn't mean that everybody else consents to it. So yeah. I have to vote on the side of women, of females." And he's absolutely right. I mean, clearly this is how it's been forever, and it's been like that forever for good reason.
Yeah.
So
Jonah Wheeler is hold on a second. Let me just get rid of this real quick. Jonah Wheeler is, I'm using from Wikipedia. Jonah Wheeler is an American politician and activist currently serving as a member of the New Hampshire House of Representatives, representing Hillsborough County, District 33. Jonah Wheeler is only 22 years of age. 22.
Young man of integrity, young man of wisdom.
You very rarely see integrity like this. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to play for you all some of the video of what this young man was talking about. He voted on bill, let me just make sure I get the bill correctly. The very reason why we're talking about him today, it was House Bill, it was HB, hold on. I'll tell you right now. Just bear with me a second. Yeah. Bear with me a second. Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, from matter of fact, I'll share this.
House Bill H1N1.
Oh God, no. All right, so I'll read from I'll read from this. This is from the New Hampshire Journal. Democrat Joe. This is from last week, March 25th. Democrat Jonah Wheeler stood alone before a capacity crowd in the Peterborough Town Hall as critics. Let me see. Well, that's not the information I was looking for. Okay, move. Let me see. Angry House Democrats unleashed. Let me see. It was House Bill HB 148.
There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
permitting classification of individuals based on biological sex under certain circumstances. The bill was passed, and it was moved. Let me see. The House said it was passed. Let's see. Floor date was March 20th. And it looks like this bill has a roll call. Huh.
What's that mean?
I'm not sure. No, it did pass. It did pass. 201 to 166.
Nice. Good.
And Jonah Wheeler was one of two Democrats who voted for this bill. Now, there were some members of his party who were quite upset.
That just underscores the level of derangement of the Democrats that only 2 of them voted for this. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so we've got people asking, can we donate anywhere?
Yes, Jim.
Yes, Jim. You
buy me a coffee.
Donate. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up.
There it is. Look at that
right now.
Buymeacoffee.com.
Everybody, if you can, support the channel
radio.
at buymeacoffee.com/apostate radio. This shit ain't cheap.
No.
We're
not rich.
This shit ain't cheap, and we ain't rich.
We are not rich men.
Yeah, we're both a couple of middle class guys.
Very middle class.
Who love our country, and we want to. We're just trying to spread some laughs, spread some joy, and ultimately spread information and just fuck communists. Anyways.
Yeah.
So basically, House Bill 148 passed, and this young man had a moment of deep moral clarity. Okay, and I want to play this. Hold on, I want to play this for y'all because I think it's very important. Watch.
Yeah. Recognized to speak for the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that was a powerful story. And I have heard many stories like that in the lead up to this vote here today. But Mr. Speaker, the powerful anecdotes of one person and the consent of one person cannot stand for the consent of another person.
Let me just pause it right there. Matter of fact, I want to bring it this way so they can see us both. That kind of moral clarity out of a young man of 22 is truly a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, he's a smart guy, very wise beyond his years.
A breath of fresh air. This is a young man who is wise beyond his years. Yeah. And the crazy part about it is he is a Democrat. Matter of fact, he's probably aligned with his people, aligned with other Democrats and progressives. He's aligned with them on almost everything, except this. And this is what I want to show y'all.
And I want to say real quick, Isaiah, too. He's this is a guy who's smart enough to know the repercussions of doing this. Like he's not stupid. He knows the political atmosphere. He knows how his party is. They're freaking unhinged with stuff like this. And he knows that he might be done after this with the Democrats. Who knows what's going to happen? Like they might they walked out the door with him as you're about to find out. And he might be he might be ostracized. So yeah, this is a big decision for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go.
And if there are women who feel unsafe, if there are women who feel like their space has become not private, then we should listen to those women. And just because a small segment of the population would like those policies to accommodate them over women doesn't mean that we here today can do that. So, Mr. Speaker, for us, and I pause because my colleagues are walking out as I give this speech.
Yeah. And they're clapping.
People are clapping in the gallery before they're walking out.
Mhm.
And Mr. Speaker,
I'm gonna pause it again real quick, because what makes me so angry about this is the fact that what you're seeing in this what you're seeing in this video right here is the cultish nature of the American leftist.
Mm.
When people say that the Dems have become a cult, this is what we're talking about. This level of demonic, this level of total separation from reality. Gender, the entire concept of gender, has given the Democrats, most of who are godless people, a lot of atheists love a lot of atheists love the whole thing about trans. And what they love about trans is the fact that it is to these people the greatest evidence of self-determination. It is a display of vulgar individualism. This thought that we have to create and totally upend society for the sake of people whose souls are mismatched.
That sounds very theological too, in a way. It sounds like it's a religious claim, or some kind of spiritual claim that like they have a female soul in the male's body, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like
it's Gnosticism.
That's strange.
It's Gnosticism.
Are you sure about that?
I am dead serious.
Yeah. No, I know.
I am dead serious.
I'm saying, are they sure? Are they sure about, like, how do you know that? Like, you're basically trying to make us make a claim of faith and trust you. Be like, okay, yeah, then you must be right, and you are actually a girl because you have a girl's soul or a girl's brain or something.
So
kind of wild.
Yeah, but just understand, folks. Dissent on this one matter is treated as blasphemy. The spiritual, the existence of the trans soul, the gendered soul that just so happens to not meet the right body, okay? These people genuinely believe that. And they believe that their that their quote unquote bravery is in their self-determination to live their quote unquote authentic selves.
And I want to say one thing too about the cultish nature of the Democrats. These guys are, well, first of all, they're walking out on this on Jonah Wheeler here without even hearing what he has to say. Like as soon as they hear, oh, he disagrees, he's about to give a whole explanation as to why, a very good one, very reasonable, and they're just like, nah, we're not gonna listen to him. Two, I thought the Democrats were just preaching for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and everybody in universities how you're supposed to uplift black voices. You're supposed to be like, listen to black voices, listen to black. This is a black man telling you his truth, telling you what he thinks, and you're like, nah, you disagree. Screw you. I'm walking out the door. I don't respect you at all. I don't even know what you have to say.
Wrong Negro.
Yeah, very hypocritical.
Yeah.
If this was a bunch of conservatives walking out the door, what would they say about him, Isaiah?
I mean,
they're
racist. That he's racist.
He wouldn't have done that to a white man. He wouldn't have done it to a white representative. It's because it's just this white supremacy. It's like, yeah, well, you just did it, Democrats.
Right. Now, understand, this guy, and matter of fact, I'm gonna let it play through.
Yeah.
I think that illustrates exactly why I got up here today. I could have quietly voted my conscience, could have followed the party line. But Mr. Speaker, again, the consent of one person cannot stand for the consent of another. And just because one person is comfortable with a transgender woman being in the bathroom with them or playing sports with them or being in a prison with them doesn't mean that another woman is. And these issues do not have to cause violence. These conversations can be nuanced, and we can have conversations about treating each other with respect and humanity. And putting in place policies that say that women who were born women deserve a space to themselves, whether that be the bathroom or sports or the locker room or prisons, is not transphobic. And there are people in my town, there are people throughout the country who are liberal, left-leaning people who agree with what I just said here, but some of them won't vote with me here. Some of them, in fact, have left the party in my town. There was just a woman last week who left my party because she felt not only was she not being heard, but she felt like there was no way for her to even speak up about this position. And
That's because there isn't. That's because there isn't. I want y'all to understand this, folks. Please understand this. Democrats do not want any kind of disagreement or break from whatever the party directive is. It's that simple. Trans women are women, according to the party directive. The entire Democrat apparatus, and I'm not just talking about the party itself, I'm talking about the cultural and institutional apparatuses as well. The news media will fight hard. I'm talking print and cable news will fight harder for the rights of a man in a dress to be called a woman than for women to have their own spaces. Women are actually, these people do not want women to have their own spaces.
And women are very vulnerable. I mean, this is why we did this in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, this is, how did we forget this? Like, you know, having males in the room. And then on top of that, when any man, like, who claims to be trans, might just be a pervert, might just be whatever, who knows, crazy. And he just puts on a wig or just puts on lipstick and he's like, yeah, I'm a woman. I want to hang out in a woman's locker room. You think that doesn't happen? Or goes to the,
it happens.
or goes to the salon or whatever to get a Brazilian wax, and the women have to do it. You know, I think that happened in Canada or whatever, and they have to freaking wax his balls.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and I think they refused them. And it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, there's different rules for the sexes clearly, and women are vulnerable. Women get made very uncomfortable, as you know, you imagine they would be. They can be raped, molested, attacked. Nobody maybe is there to see it. So there's no witnesses. You know, there's a lot of things. Obviously, there's, you know, think about men out in the streets who expose themselves and stuff. Like, you know, those people like open their jackets or whatever, and like everybody gets freaked out by that. It's like that's kind of the same thing going on in the locker rooms.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So
I got an
then forget it, and then just one more thing. Just forget about sports where the women can get. First of all, they can be training their whole lives to be like the state champion or get a scholarship, and then they lose to these guys, or they get injured because it's a freaking man that they're playing against and he hits them too hard, and they're against females. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah. There's an example that I want to show of this. I didn't, well, you know what? I'll do it in a second, because it's an example. It's going to get swept under the rug because, again, well, I don't want it to get swept under the rug, but this is an example of, I'll show it to you in a second, because I want to get through this.
Sure.
Because we do have a lot to get to, but it's an example of what you're talking about. I think you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah. You shared it with me last night, right? Is it?
Yeah. This is someone. This is a woman I used to. Well, I shouldn't say I used to. Like, I know of her. And there's, I'll get in. We'll see it in a second. We'll see it. But for now, let me just get back to this, because what I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens after. Okay, I'm doing a lot of like we're setting up the context for this, because you have to understand where how the struggle session afterwards
And what it's about. Yeah.
came to be and what it's about. Okay, because if you just go into if you just go into the struggle session itself with, you're just going to see a bunch of white harpies screaming at this one at this guy with dreads. Okay, yeah. But you have to understand why they're doing this and how cultish the gender cult actually is. So the one thing that always happens in these cases, whenever it comes to trans, the gender cult, okay, someone always, because this is we are dealing with a cult, someone always has to speak up in defense of them. If someone says something that is not that is offensive to that group, okay, I got another example of this I'm gonna set up, but it goes right after this. When someone speaks against this, speaks something ill of the of trans, a member of someone who is a supporter of the cult has to immediately speak up in defense of them. Immediately. And you're going to see this as it plays out. I'm going to let the rest of this video play through.
And given how many people are still in their seats, I can understand why. The orthodoxy of the Democratic Party on this issue has left us to where we can't have nuanced discussions. And
women right there
are being silenced in this conversation. As much as people don't want to hear that, that is what is happening. And when I talked to people on this side of the issue and this side of the issue, I heard, I don't want any violence to happen against me.
Look at, imagine that.
To be disrespected or unheard. I heard that from transgender individuals, and I heard that from women. So, Mr. Speaker, I think HB 148, legislation which enables localities, municipalities, and businesses to put in place specific policies around definitions of sex, is not a right-wing, fascist, Nazi movement like I've been told that it is. I was called a Nazi for the prospect of giving this speech.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think that you're...
He don't look like a Nazi to me.
We all been called that, man.
We have all been called that,
many
brother.
times. Fascist.
We have all been called
Couldn't
that.
be farther from the truth. Could not be farther from the truth, man. That's a fact.
That's that, but you know, but
that's
understand,
we all have been called that.
That's
that. Rogan has, you name them.
That's
liberal
that.
people.
But see, that's that communist dog shit right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Calling someone when you're trying to advance an agenda, and you know that it is not popular, you have to call people by names that have, I'm paraphrasing, by names that already have a bad smell associated with
character
them.
assassination is
character assassination.
Yeah. Big weapon,
and it's stuff that, and listen, and unfortunately, it's stuff that plays out really well on social media. Mm-hmm. Because understand, if you if one of these fuckers comes up to me and calls me a Nazi to my face, I can't guarantee what's going to happen. Because you got to understand something, that like the great thing of the thing about social media is that it has allowed anonymous people who would never, ever, ever have the ability, who would never have the courage to say this horrible, hateful shit to people in person. They can scream it at you online.
Mm.
They can run and do little Stasi bullshit online when they were controlling the social media with the trust and safety departments. They could do that,
and they use it to silence people. They use it to intimidate.
yeah,
right? Like,
this is
so
it's
like you're like,
silence.
no, that's not me. I'm not that. No, I'm sorry. I won't say that again. I won't say the
Yeah.
truth again.
Yeah.
No, that's not me. And they expect people to shrink, and they usually do. They usually
Yeah.
shrink, or they'll stay silent just because they'll think in their head like, man, this is kind of crazy. What are the Democrats doing with this transgender stuff? With kids and everything like that, and but then nobody speaks up about it. Very few people speak up about it because they don't want to get their head chopped off being called a transphobic, hateful.
He said it. He said it right there.
He
said it right there. I don't want violence to come to me. And listen,
yeah,
I could show y'all. I have documented so many of these images over the years of trans identifying people being violent, being horribly, like violently.
I've seen that.
Three things about this movement: violently misogynistic. These people will beat the shit out of a woman at any given moment. I've seen it too.
Seen it a couple times, at least.
Okay,
on video.
They are hideously. Well, hold on.
They are rage too. From a lot of these people.
They are egregiously homophobic. Okay.
Oh yeah. Especially when they demand that like lesbians start liking female penises and males need to like gay guys need to like trans men and stuff, and it's like, no, they don't actually. They like males. The gay men like other males. Gay women like other females.
You want to see something. You want to see something. You want to see
that's what it is.
Someone get really, really unhinged and start calling every type of bundle of sticks you can possibly think of. Let one of these trans identifying women get curved by a gay man who only wants men. Okay, they'll call him. They will call him a bundle of sticks, and they'll say some weird shit like, "Oh, well, he's a genital fetishist." Like, what the fuck? Oh, so the barking simulacrum of a woman, okay, is. Oh, so even then, when they say that, it kind of betrays the fact that they really don't believe, that they really deep down inside they know they're not who they are identifying as. But let's continue.
Position or side benefits from calling the other a Nazi when they are trying to ask genuine questions about women's spaces and the protection of women inside those spaces.
Well said.
So, Mr. Speaker, this is a controversial topic. I absolutely understand that, and I apologize that we had to clear out half the room for it. But municipalities, localities, private gyms, prisons, these places should be able to put in place policies which, in limited circumstances, separate people based off of biological sex.
As we've always done, by the way.
Members on this side who have
this is not revolutionary.
Feel the pressure of the orthodoxy on them would consider the alternative side and consider not calling them bigots or racists or homophobes or transphobes just because we certainly have questions about women's spaces and the protection of women within them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Common
Does the
sense.
member yield for a question?
Here we go. Now.
Oh, this idiot over here, right? He said something. I forgot about that.
Now we're going to get into the cult aspects of it.
Emotional,
manipulative,
narcissistic.
Remember what I said.
Wait till you see this.
I want you to see this. I want you to understand this. Now we're starting to get into the cult aspect of this movement. Okay? I want you to watch this. Watch this. Do not turn away.
And slow your roll, Representative, before you inquire.
Look, even the speaker had to tell him to chill. Because this motherfucker's ready. He's ready. He's got the clip loaded.
He's ready to virtue signal.
There's a violation of House rules to come down that aisle while someone's at the well. So I don't want to see that again.
I apologize.
He's violating House rules and everything. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for taking my question. With white passing African Americans being free from discrimination during Jim Crow era law.
What the fuck?
White. Think of that. What is that?
Wow. What does that have to do with anything, you moron? And that's pretty racist to say.
I don't want to see that again.
I apologize. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. and
Commenting
thank
on
you
his
for taking
skin
my
color?
question.
Good
With
Lord.
white passing African Americans being free from discrimination during Jim Crow era laws, do you think that it is fair that we can compare this situation directly to the bathroom bans that African Americans were given and told that they were?
What the hell is he talking about?
Do you understand this, people?
He's bringing the Jim Crow.
I want you to understand. This is the hideously racist part. Okay, this is where
Really
like I said,
deranged.
violently misogynistic, egregiously homophobic, hideously racist. Please understand something, ladies and gentlemen. When white liberals, well, I shouldn't call them a liberal, when white leftists do this, okay, when white leftists, or even because I've seen some pro trans black folk do this shit too. Said it to me. The one thing that people within this movement do is they love, and I mean love, to compare this movement,
yes,
to the civil rights movement. They love doing that.
If anything, this is a civil rights issue for women.
It's a civil rights issue for women.
It is.
But understand,
honestly,
when a white leftist stands up like this and is audaciously draws a comparison to the Jim Crow era and racist segregation, this is, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead.
I'm honestly pissed off. We even have to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
This drives me nuts.
This representative right here is telling Jonah Wheeler, nigga, you better get back in your space, boy.
Basically, yeah. That's that energy for sure.
That's that plantation. That is that
Calvin Candy
cracking Calvin Candy. Get your ass back in them fields, boy.
Yeah.
That's that energy.
Yeah. Stay in your place. You vote accordingly.
In your place.
Yeah.
We let the Jim Crow era. We let y'all have your civil rights, boy. How dare you, you filthy half-blade. That's that energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have seen this energy, and you know what? It makes a lot of sense too, because the trans cult is less than 2/3 of 1% of the population, but
we got to move mountains for them.
Over 80% of the people within that 2/3 of 1%. That they are demanding that we upend all of society for are white.
White males too, I think, and well females.
White
too,
and male. But again, that's the energy here.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
dude,
the energy.
He was referring to, just to be clear, he was referring to him about being a white passing black man, or was he talking about something else?
That's exactly what he was saying.
That's crazy.
White passing.
Imagine that. Dude, please. For a second, imagine if a fucking Republican said that about any like about a light-skinned black Democrat.
As many times as I listened to the Jasmine Crockett's and the D.L. Hughley's and the Teray Neblets and all these other pro-Democrat blacks. They love talking about Republicans like they like every Republican is a motherfucking Strom Thurmond. None of them.
Crazy.
None of them come with energy like this.
Crazy if a white conservative said that. Like, the last guy I remember talking like that was as a politician, Joe Biden. But he was
and look, and just
Things he
again,
said about black people, but
right.
but like it's yeah. I mean, I don't think I haven't heard a Republican talk like that in I don't know how many decades.
Because they don't.
Because they don't, yeah. But this guy is a Democrat, a woke Democrat, who is just commented, "Hey, man, you're a white passing black guy. Shut up." Like, what the hell is that? Unbelievable.
Get in line, boy. And I'm gonna show you. And after this, I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna rewind it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna rewind this. Just so I already did, but I want y'all. But I'm gonna let it play through. You got to see this. Understand, this is the racism of this
Before you
movement.
inquire, it is a violation of House rules to come down that aisle.
That's how bold
Someone's
these people
at the
are.
Well, so I don't want to see that again.
I apologize. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for taking my question. With white passing African Americans being free from discrimination during Jim Crow era laws, do you think that it is fair that we can compare this situation directly to the bathroom bans that African Americans were given and told that they were dangerous to white people?
Can't take it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Representative. Representative,
You're a racist fuck.
race
Yeah.
and what happened in the Jim Crow era is, yes, significantly different than sex and talking about women and their private spaces.
Jesus. The fact that you have to say that.
You could
The fact
tell
that you
he's
even have to
you
say
could
it.
tell he's answered that question before.
Yeah. Oh man, he wants to swear at this guy.
Yeah.
That's I mean, like
you can tell that you can like that. You can tell right there that he's answered that question before.
oh yeah, he's like talking to us like, dude, are you that slow? Are you really that slow, or are you really that that racist and deranged in the mind, or are you playing stupid?
Yeah.
Those are the only options.
Now I'm gonna break for a second here, and I'm gonna show y'all, ladies and gentlemen, what this looks like when black people do it. Okay, this is a clip. What I'm about to show y'all is a clip from an interview that took place a couple days ago with Detroit rapper Trick. Okay, I know who he is. Yeah, Trick. No. I've heard his stuff before. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
pretty
know.
good. He's out of Detroit.
I thought you were gonna say Trick Daddy for a second.
No.
Trick love the kids.
Yeah, he need to get that lupus in check. The boy look like Jabba the Hutt.
Oh no.
No. Shout to Trick Daddy Dollars.
I don't want no beef with Trick Daddy.
Yeah, I don't want no beef with that brother. Listen.
Get better, Trick Daddy.
He a Florida boy. I don't want no smoke with them Florida boys. My quarterback from where he's from. You know, Lamar.
He's in
Jackson.
Trump country.
But this dude Trick had a run-in on this show with this guy by the name of Terrell Starr. Now, Terrell Starr is a pro-Democrat black. Okay, he is gay, right? And he is 150. He is 100% pro-trans. Now, this dude's living in Ukraine right now. I guess he's one of them that like he used to cover like Russian stuff, but he's living in the Ukraine. And for whatever reason, he's covering the war. I want to show y'all what this energy looks like when black people bring that same racist energy, that same get back in the fields, boy. I want to that shit. I want to show y'all what this looks like when black people do it to each other. Watch.
We got men beating the shit out of women in women's sports, and it was perfectly goddamn legal. We got transgenders or transistors or whatever the fuck they are coming in schools talking to children. What the fuck is you doing talking to these babies about what?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How the fuck did we get here?
You're right,
At this point, America, we got a goddamn problem.
Now, I want y'all to watch. I want y'all to understand who y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. Understand. Watch the nasty work. Okay? Watch the nasty work.
A little bit thrown back by all the extreme transphobia that I just heard.
I don't give a fuck about all that, cuz.
This is now, you're going to see two things. You're going to see, in my opinion, the proper response to when someone decides, look, what Jonah Wheeler did earlier, like, that's the dignified, we're in the house, you know, we're in a legislative body, a congenial body.
Yeah.
This a radio show, and I'm sorry, this honestly is the proper way for me to do it.
That's how he asked you a question about something else. You ain't got to come back and what the fuck I just said.
Well, I find it pretty interesting.
Shit, he's there?
You talk about
you just got asked a question and you still talking to me, bro. I answer my question to him. You just asked. Talk to Charlie, bro.
I get a right to respond to you. That I'm just.
You don't got. I ain't asked you a motherfucking thing. You ain't got to respond shit to me. Talk to Charlie.
Well, that's fine.
He asked you a question. I ain't asked you shit, bro.
Secondly, you voted for
see, still fucking talking. Did I ask this nigga anything, bro? I'm not here to talk to him, bro. I'm here to talk to you. I don't want to hear shit dog got to say. He started off wrong. I don't know, chick. Tell me about you.
Well, sir, I was trying to be polite, sir, but now that I was, so okay. So is it really that deep? So what?
I'm gonna pause it there for a second.
Jeez.
I'm gonna pause it there for a second.
Who's that dude? That's the guy you're talking about that lives in Ukraine?
Terrell Starr, yeah, that's him.
Of course, another journalist.
Another
woke journalist. And so they're all woke.
Bitch. Yeah. But see, understand the reason why I don't now. I wanted to show y'all what this looks like. Again, I'm building a case here. This is what that looks like when black folk do it to each other. Okay? When a gay black man who, again, the cult members must stand up for the most marginalized, the one who is placed at the Godhead. Okay? The highest beings in the leftist cult are trans.
Jeez. Okay.
And whenever someone says anything about them, it is then the duty of whoever is part of the cult to immediately stand up, and regardless of who a question was directed at, the extreme transphobia, whatever the fuck that word means, okay? The extreme transphobia must be addressed. Now, in the black community, LGBTQIAP+ has been pedestalized, along with many other degeneracies in the community, okay? The powers that run this world need us to be degenerate and unfocused, which is why our neighborhoods still look the same fucking way. But that's the thing. I show this because if you notice all of the little subtle digs, the shots that Starr is taking at this rapper Trick, okay? Where all of a sudden, where you're willing to stop the whole fucking show, you got this man who's telling you, I don't have to answer your question. I don't have to do nothing with you. Talk to the host of the show. Host of the show is scrambling. He's like, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on. What the fuck? Because as a white guy, he's like, I'm not getting in the middle of two black dudes and their squabble. They don't know how to handle it. And most of them are used to, and most white leftists are really only used to that soft, passive-aggressive, feminine energy that Terrell Starr is bringing. So here you stood right up and was like, well, I have to stand up against this extreme transphobia. But then you asking this dude when he give you a reaction that's a little bit more than what you bargained for, then you asking him, oh, is it that deep? But it gets worse. It gets worse. Just make sure I'm right. It gets worse. Watch.
Why are you?
Okay, let's see what
Well,
he said.
how am I supposed to sit here and deal with the extreme transphobia that you're doing? Why are you so? Why your verbal language? Wow. Wow.
See that?
Hear that shit? You don't run shit here, nigga. How the fuck you don't get to fucking tell me how to think or how to talk, nigga? Do your fucking job.
This is the proper response.
Yeah.
But watch the mannerisms of Terrell Starr in your bottom left hand screen.
You don't got a
What is my job?
You look there. See, he's satisfied with himself. Fucking he's satisfied with himself because he know what he did.
Yeah.
He know what he did. He know exactly what he did. Listen. In 2017, a piece was written that said straight black men are the white people of black people.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I seen that. Crazy. Yet another crazy woke headline.
So what Terrell Starr just did by getting tricked to go off like he did, which honestly is the correct way, right?
Yeah.
When one of these motherfuckers decide that he want to talk down to you or condescend to you like he's some like he's so enlightened and like he's so enlightened because of his place.
Trick's right, man. Like he said, he just said like, what the hell are these people doing in the kids' classrooms? First of all, the babies, talking to babies, and it's like he's absolutely right, and I get why he's pissed because how do you not see that that's bad? How do you not see that you shouldn't be indoctrinating kids in like gender theory, queer theory, and shit like this is like mind warping stuff, obviously. And now you see how the kids are ending up.
And what Starr's doing is he threw a stone and he's hiding his hand. Okay. We throw stones behind your head. That's what this is. But let's keep going.
Shut the fuck up, nigga, and keep talking to this man. I ain't asked you
See
a
that?
goddamn thing.
Why are you so angry?
Question.
Wow. You can't. I find it so interesting that you have so little self-control about yourself.
Little self-control. Fuck you. Ooh. Like, y'all see that, right? Y'all see that. You need to learn some self-control. You need to let that. Why are you so violent? Wow. I find it so interesting that you're going off like this. Just keep watching.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. This is just so interesting. You're just wow.
This little bundle of sticks knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. This old bitch ass. Ooh, he knew exactly what he was doing. Now, mind you, in this clip, Terrell Starr. Hold on. I want to make sure you get a good look at this motherfucker right here. Take a good look at him. Take a real good look at him. Oh, bitch ass. Ooh. He know exactly what he's doing. And he think this funny. Mind you, this dude is several thousand miles away from where the actual conversation is starting. But understand, this is how these people operate. This is how they operate. Let's keep going, just real quick. And again, we're gonna get to the struggle session. But again, building context here. If I'm going too long, just let me know.
You lack so much emotional self-control.
You don't tell no motherfucking body how to think. Where the fuck you?
I wasn't saying anything. I'm just saying that.
Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck made you the moral authority over how any fucking body talk, dog?
Get him.
Well, I found that interesting because
who made you the moral authority to tell anybody how to talk? Where the fuck do you get your positioning to tell anybody how to talk? I'll wait now.
Nah, he's right. Trick's right.
I didn't fucking think so, nigga. Now,
Well,
if you will,
I-
answer Charlie LaDuff's fucking question. And please
Well,
stop talking
I'm
to me. I ain't here to
dealing
conversate
the
with you, homie.
transphobia. Would you be?
I don't give
I
a
would
fuck
be
about
offended
what
if
you
everybody
talk about
said-
trans these
call
nuts,
people
nigga.
repeatedly the N-word.
Shut the fuck
Why
up,
does this
dog.
make you so angry? Why does this
Because
make
you
you so
talking to me, because you out of place, dog. You talking to me, and this man asked you a question. You out of place.
All right.
You don't get to
Okay,
tell
so
me
I'm
how to
going
think.
to
You
make
don't get to tell
Yeah.
me how to talk.
Thank
You
you.
don't know nothing about me. You stated that from the beginning. So at this point,
I'm
me and
happy
you
I
had
don't.
no
I'm
dialogue,
happy I
bro.
don't.
You started
I'm happy
off
I don't.
wrong. You started it wrong. When he told you said something earlier.
Yeah, bitch ass
Yeah.
nigga. He real satisfied with himself. He real sad. Understand that look in his face. That look in that man's face, in that bottom left-hand corner of your screen, that is the look of a narcissist. That is the look of narcissistic supply being filled. That's what you looking at right there.
We should probably
That's
get to
what that is.
We should probably get to the struggle session though, because I gotta get out of here 12:30.
I'm sorry.
Isaiah.
I'm sorry.
But
Yeah, and I gotta get out of here
I
myself.
100% agree, man. He's and like Trick's right, man. First of all, you shouldn't be telling him how to think. Too, Trick's is right. You know, you shouldn't be teaching the kids this stuff. You shouldn't be indoctrinating kids with this stuff. You know, if you're a grown adult and you come to that in your own way to be trans, and that's whatever, that's fine. That's you, whatever. You know, that's your life.
Yeah.
But putting that on kids, getting them confused, whether they're young children, middle school children, teenagers, even college. It's like, you know, this is stuff that leads to kids getting puberty blockers or their breasts cut off, their genitals cut off, hysterectomies, whatever. It's like, this is brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's disgusting.
It's life altering. It is permanent.
If you're a grown adult
and all the rest,
whatever. You know,
but yeah, like again,
probably should go to therapy.
This movement would never have had to go under. Would never have had to take the measures that it has if they had just left the kids alone.
Yeah.
If
I think
you-
I don't think anybody
motherfuckers-
cares
if
about if you're a
these
grown
people-
adult. Like
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner, who really cared? If Caitlyn Jenner want to be a woman or dress like a woman or whatever, call herself a woman, I don't think anybody gave a crap. Like, okay, whatever. You're grown, like you're 55-year-old person, however old she is, 60.
Brucey boy was messing around in his daughter's underwear drawer for years, and no one would have cared.
Nobody gave a shit.
But no one would have cared.
Who cares? I don't
But
care.
unfortunately, but once the Democrats decided that the trans child, that forcing this stuff onto children,
That's the issue.
that,
And the women's
quote, unquote,
rights. That and the women's
saving
rights, yeah.
lives,
Mhm.
saving lives of trans kids.
Yep. No, it's the opposite.
They hide behind the children, like George Carlin used to say. Hey, let's get this.
Exactly.
So I've built enough. We've built enough.
You get the idea.
You get
now
the idea.
Now watch a Maoist struggle session in the year of our Lord 2025.
Right.
With Jonah Wheeler.
Here we go. With Jonah Wheeler.
We're doing the right thing, by the way. If we're doing the exact right thing, he's
Yeah.
going to hear it from these people. Like you said, these harpies.
Yeah.
I'll respond to you right away because I'm not going to get lost in this. My question is, do you understand the ripple effect that your actions have on vulnerable people? And I am saying that, Jonah, as someone who has been in your corner almost as long as I've been a teacher. I sat across from you and you talked about how you wanted to go to Boys State. I proudly voted for you, and I am ashamed of what you have done out in the world.
This
should be proud of him.
nasty part.
Jean is my student too. This room is full of people you are actively hurting. I don't know how you sit down.
Very feminine.
Actively hurting.
Yeah.
The tears.
Yeah, the woke click snapping.
Right.
I sleep just fine.
Atta boy.
There you go, Jonah.
As you should. As you should.
Say this without clapping, without anything else, because there are people in this room who I've known for a long time who are coming up here to say really powerful things to me. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to that because it's
Maybe
not.
just listen.
Ah, here it is.
Here we
Here
go.
it is. You don't get to talk. You just have to listen. Shut up and listen.
You're screaming at me, Sarah.
Crazy.
Let me say this without clapping, without anything else,
How
because there are
uncivilized.
people in this room who I've known for a long time who are coming up here to say really powerful things to me. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to that because it's
Maybe
not.
just listen. Don't respond.
The questions.
Yeah, they like that. They would love that.
You're screaming at me, Sarah. Why are you screaming at me?
Because you
Why
just
can't
listen.
Why can't we have a conversation about this issue in a coordinated and coherent way?
I thought you
Yep.
wanted to listen to women.
Ugh.
This is a
Revolting.
struggle session.
This is a struggle. Exactly.
This is a Maoist American. This is an American Maoist struggle session. When I talk about the great American Maoist crash out, this is part of it.
Oh yeah.
This is part of it. This is part of the great American Maoist crash out.
Notice
all
how
day
they
long.
just want to shame him the entire time, and he is not allowed to respond in their eyes. Like
Exactly.
Shut up and listen.
These claps after somebody says something when I'm just trying to respond. Would you rather I just sit here and not talk?
Yep. There you go. That's what they want. They'd love that.
Listening session. We want to struggle you.
Yeah.
You don't get to respond.
Yep. Yeah.
You little
Exactly what's going on.
nigger. You don't get to say anything. You filthy halfling.
Light skinned. Yeah. White.
You
Or should you say
white passing
white
bastard.
passing? That's the word. Yeah. White passing.
Yeah. That's that type
Disgraceful.
of this is disgraceful.
Kind of makes me sick. Honestly.
This is depraved.
It is. And
And
it's
these are white. Most of them they're middle-aged, college educated, no doubt.
Yep.
And they're screaming at
Crazy
this
cat
black
ladies.
man. They're screaming at this black man
Mm-hmm.
because remember, if you even if you are mixed with a little bit of black, you all the way black.
That's right.
Okay. If we're going to follow the whole pattern of intersectionality, every single one of these white women are screaming at a black man for not falling in line.
I thought they were supposed to be uplifting black and brown voices, and they told them to stay silent the whole time. Which one is it?
Yeah, music creator. Thank you, fellas. Now,
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, music creator.
One other thing, Turf Mail says,
Turf.
thanks for replaying the struggle session. I spoke to Mr. Wheeler before his meeting. He answers his own phone.
We'd love to get him on. Hey, Turf Mail, tell him.
Yeah,
Tell him.
yeah.
Apostate Radio wants him on, man. We're former Democrats. We're not
Apostate,
crazy
yes.
conservatives or anything like that. We're very
Absolutely.
moderate, very reasonable people, independent
Absolutely.
thinkers. We'd love to have him on.
Yeah, Congressman Wheeler.
Open invitation.
Come on. We want to talk to you.
We want to actually hear your
talk
voice.
to
You don't
you.
have to stay silent.
Exactly. And we're not going to scream at you like this D+36 mob.
Crazy cat lady mob.
Did to you. Here we go.
You guys are yelling out listening session. You are asking questions.
Struggle session.
Yes.
Elizabeth has a question. Elizabeth
Whoever
has
said
a
that.
question.
I am really confused, and I came here to get clarity, and I haven't gotten it yet.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty close to your mouth.
Is that good? Okay. I'm still confused, and this is a simple question. I was going to call you and chat with you, but I couldn't. I just want to know why, when there are so many people in this room who are clearly upset about your decision, and I think you know your constituents.
I think you know you're the passive aggressive. Like this bitch is trying to play good cop.
Yeah. What is there, like 80 people in the room, 60 people? And it's like
maybe.
And there's just a bunch of old crazy cat ladies and eunuchs that just happen to have the day off to be able to come.
And moob bearing men like the one in the purple in the back. Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
And it's like, you know, she thinks that's like the whole population of his district. No.
Exactly.
So shut up.
I believe that you do. Why did you vote in a manner that would upset us, so I don't, because
What a
I
question.
understand,
What a
I
fucking
don't understand how somebody can vote their conscience if
What
they're
a
an elected official. I thought, and I could be wrong, that you voted for your constituents. And I'm not being snarky. I really
Why would you vote in such a manner that would? Why would you vote in such a manner that would upset us so?
Good Lord. I mean, like, what a question. It's like, what? It's like, it literally, like just like James Lindsay said the other day, it's like a toddler philosophy. Oh,
Got his number.
all right. Well, okay. He gets this on his profile page.
This isn't doxing because his number is on the net as at his profile page. You can call him too. He says he answers all calls. We have make sure you write that down. Make sure you write that down.
But
or better yet, I'll put it in a private chat.
I just texted it to you. But yeah, that's good. We
I
gotta
got
hold him. But
we do.
But yeah, like, it's like I said, a toddler philosophy. It's like, that's not the point. I don't give a shit if the thing upsets you. It matters is if it's right or wrong. That's the question. Is it right or wrong? We could debate it or whatever. But it's like, clearly it's right to protect women's spaces. Clearly it's right to protect women from potential perverts, predators, the unhinged males. Just maybe they don't want to see, maybe it's none of those things, and they just don't want to see a guy walk around with an erection in their locker room. Maybe it makes it feel it's like maybe there's a little girl in there, because locker rooms sometimes have little girls, and like the YMCA and shit like that, right? Gyms. So it's like, how hard is it to understand this? And we're gonna change the whole way we do everything in society for less than 1% of the goddamn country, and they're artificially growing these numbers because they're indoctrinating these kids to be this way. Fuck you. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Why are you voting? It upsets us. Like, shut the fuck up.
See, the reason,
idiot.
See, what I'm hoping this does is Scott Jennings on CNN. Shout to Scott Jennings.
Shout to Scott. We gotta get Scott on too, man.
Yeah, I would love to talk to that brother. Scott Jennings has often talked about how the Democrat Party are now the party of
80-20.
Yeah. Okay. The ground beef rule. Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, it's the ground beef rule.
I like
where there are issues, there are matters that 80% of the country are in favor of. And then at the same time, you have 20%. The problem for the Democrat Party right now, and this is nationally, okay? Democrats for the last 10 years, because they had all of the institutional and soft power in this country. And by soft power, I'm talking about entertainment, the entertainment industry, the corporations, the banks. They have more billionaires on their side than conservatives do. Okay, they've got the entire the nonprofit industry is primarily made up of progressive and leftist orgs. You have I've talked about Posse Foundation before. You have organizations right now, nonprofits, DEI nonprofits, who specialize in getting exotic, and by exotic, I'm talking about like Black, brown, Hispanic, whatever, LGBTQIA, really TQ plus children into these small boutique colleges and universities. Posse Foundation is getting money from Goldman Sachs and Arcus Foundation. For those of you who don't know who Arcus is the brain. Arcus is the philanthropy arm for John Stryker. John Stryker is a mega billionaire, the owner of Stryker Medical Corporation. The people the MRI machines and stuff. Yeah,
didn't he used to run Weapon X, like the creator Wolverine, or is that somebody else?
What? Are you talking about Graydon Creed?
No, there was a guy named Stryker too in Wolverine. Stryker.
I can't. Oh,
William Stryker.
William Stryker. That was his name. Oh, I don't know. Turf Mail said,
"Yeah, he's an army major and leader of Weapon X." Must be his brother.
Really? Oh, interesting. Yeah. Turf Mail says, if you want to learn more about former Dems who are women, follow Kara Dansky, who wrote a book about this called The Reckoning. I know Kara Dansky. We had a falling out. We had a falling out.
Kara,
I
what
know,
happened, Kara?
I know Kara. I know Kara. I have spoken with Kara. You know what? I remember, and it's unfortunate. I remember talking to Kara and warning her. This is now like what, 4 or 5 years ago. I was warning her back then that violence was coming from these people. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I remember telling her that these animals, these street animals, were going to start getting violent and nasty. And sure as shit, they did.
Yep.
So, and again, I wasn't saying this to be mean or anything. I was just saying, listen, I know what I'm looking at. I know exactly. I mean, look at they're kicking people's Teslas.
Yeah.
They've shot up. I would have loved to have talked to Kara Dansky after the shooting in Nashville. Where Audrey Hale shot and killed 6 people in that Christian church. And three of those people were kids.
Yep. Oh, there's been a number of terrorist attacks by
I love Kara.
trans non-binary people.
Kara
right?
has done an immense amount of work. I love her to death. I think the world of her. But Kara, I tried to tell you, baby. I tried to tell you that these people were going to get violent. This is nothing. Anyways,
Kara, come on the show. We can
come on the show, Kara.
Patch things up with Isaiah. We'll talk about it.
Kara, I love
Isaiah's
you.
a good dude.
Come back on the show.
I love you.
Come on to the show. Come on to the show, and we can talk this out, because I really, really, really want to have this conversation with Kara Dansky.
Kara Dansky, we really care about you.
Oh my God. Get out. Get out. Go.
I gotta go. See you guys.
Get out. Get out.
Dad jokes, baby. Dad jokes.
Yeah. No, not just bad, awful.
It's a dad.
I told you.
That's a good joke.
Listen. You just had a baby. Okay. You're telling 5-year-old level dad jokes.
But hey, man, the people love it. The people
listen. Oh my God.
I do it for the people.
Oh,
a man of the people, like our brother Alexi Lawless. I'm a man of the people, man.
He's a man of the people. Oh my God! Shout to Alexi.
Shout out Alexi.
Alexi, I don't know how you do it. I know this is completely unrelated to the struggle session, because that man, I think
we both got like ADHD or something, man.
Yeah, that man weaves through struggle sessions every night. These fucking these guys who piss like oat milk and soy and soy water, like these guys just like come like, I can't believe that you are this right-wing bastard and I can't take you seriously. I used to listen to you all the time for soccer information, and now you find out that you're a conservative, you voted for Trump. I'm just like, bitch, if you like, clean the piss up off the floor.
Stick to soccer. I can't handle seeing opinions that I don't agree with.
Exactly.
It makes me go poo poo pee pee.
Yeah. Turf Mail says her book is well worth the read, as is Helen Joyce's
Shout out
Trans,
to Helen Joyce.
which was recently. Now I bought her book. Helen Joyce's book is incredible.
I haven't read it,
and it
yet,
says
though.
recently republished with fresh notes. That's good to know. That's good to know. So a couple more minutes of this fucking thing, and then I think you get the point about this nonsense. Let me see here. Where do we go?
Yeah, let's hear more of these struggle session people, just to see how ridiculous these people are.
Yeah.
I want to know, do you vote? Do the people we elect vote their conscience, or do they vote for their constituents? And that's my only question. And that's why I'm here. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, fucking bet.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for asking that in a respectful way. I'm happy to answer. I voted for this legislation knowing, yes, that it would be controversial, and that's why I gave my speech. is because I wanted to try to explain to my constituents why, after the research, after extensive listening to both sides, I would do what I did. So like I said on the floor, I could have taken a walk, which means leaving the chamber, not voting, it's frowned upon. I could have voted with the party, which would have been against what I knew to be right based off of what I had heard from women. Again, this comes down to, for me, I hear from the people on this side. I also hear from the people on this side who say that their consent, their voice, and their opinion has been shot down just like this. Yep. I voted the way that I did, Elizabeth, because I did represent my constituents. Because there were women in this town who told me that they don't feel safe in their spaces anymore. Again, despite what this crowd might say, I'm supposed to just label all those women as transphobic? These are Democratic women who have been called a Republican. We're thinking of people that we both know right here, who have been called a Republican. People who have fought so hard the last 20 years, some of them formerly elected women officials in the Democratic Party, who came to me and said, the Democratic Party is ignoring me on this issue. They've called me a Republican. They're going out calling me fascist sympathizers. I couldn't just ignore those women. And that's why I voted the way I did.
Yeah. And like,
and I think that'll do it right there.
Yeah, I think
that'll do it right
I
there.
think the with people need to understand, it's like, which I'm sure everybody does, only the angriest people show up to this thing. The angriest people with no lives, crazy cat moms, whatever they are, coming over there, super woke people. So it makes it look like, oh my God, the town is so mad, everybody's so mad at you, but like probably he has the majority of people that actually support what he's doing. And two, it's a representative government. So like he is expected to vote his conscience, because, even sometimes even the people could be wrong. It depends. Like, especially in the town or whatever, a small group of people, we've seen it. We've seen huge groups of people, very educated people tend to be the dumbest people recently. Craziest people, most ideologically deranged people are the most educated. Well, I have a PhD. I have 2 PhDs. I did this. I did that. I'm the president of Harvard. And they say they can't define what a woman is. What the hell happened to them?
It's because
what the hell happened in your brain?
This is
they're warped.
I forget where I read this. Somebody I genuinely forget where I read this. But when you spend your entire existence believing something that is not true, when you are told that in order to be a more loving, a more compassionate, and a true member of your quote unquote species being, to paraphrase from Marx, you are then, you've got people in these colleges and universities, these young women and young men who really, honestly, I believe some of them really do want to make a difference.
Yeah,
some
100%.
of them really want to do good in the world.
A lot of woke people do too. I think a lot of them mean well. I think they really are fighting a good fight. And they really think we're going to end racism in this generation, or we're going to end transphobia, and we're going to end homophobia, Islamophobia, all that stuff that they're obsessed with, right?
Yeah.
But so much of what they do is actually making it worse. So much of what they do.
Even now, as much as I clown her, and as much as I have had some pretty, I've taken shots at her, there is a woman who I know who works in DEI, my DEI ex, who I am sure there is a part of her, as she went through her university and got her master's and then moved over here from Los Angeles, And even now, where whatever the fuck she's doing, I'm sure there's a part of her that genuinely believes that she's doing that she's doing the right thing.
I
right?
bet, yeah.
That she wants to make a difference in life.
Yeah, I don't think most of these people are evil.
But see, even though they aren't evil, is that a cat?
That's my daughter.
Oh, your daughter? Oh, okay.
She does like a bird call like her daddy used to. It's funny. It's pretty ridiculous that she does that.
Well, she's man, I can't wait to meet your family.
Oh,
bro.
definitely. The cutie.
So, like I said, there's a part of her, I believe, that wants to do the right thing. If for different reasons, but there's something I genuinely believe that some people really want to do good in the world. You cannot do good in the world if the good that you want to do is based on a lie.
100%.
That's just the end of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like I remember I remember conversations years ago when I was, like right when woke shit was just starting to jump off. And I was listening to people, and they were like, there would be this situation where they would talk about like Trayvon Martin or whatever. Okay.
Mm.
And then something happened that proves that the narrative about this guy, or about George Zimmerman or about Michael Brown or whatever, something was found that it wasn't true. Like, for instance, the whole hands up, don't shoot thing in Ferguson when pertaining to Mike Brown, that was found to have been a lie.
Mm.
But I can't tell you how many people were like, well, at least it started at least it started a national conversation on race.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you lied to get the conversation started.
Yeah.
No good conversation to move progress forward can be based on a lie. And after a while, when you lie and lie and lie and continue to lie, you become a little evil.
Yeah, you get warped. You literally get warped.
Yeah, hold on.
Reality around you is skewed. Everything you think you believe, it's based on falsehoods. Falsehoods.
I'll be right back, Nick. I'll be right back. Go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna let you got the floor, brother.
Yeah. So if you're sitting here and you're like, just like, this is why it's such a huge issue in education. It's like, if you're basing things on like ideas like, sex differences are socially constructed, right? That's a big one, where you think like men and women, males and females are exactly the same. Boys, girls, men and women, really exactly the same mentally, personality wise, physically. It's just culture changes them, patriarchal culture. If you have this point of view, it's like it's definitely obviously not true. Everybody knows it's not true. There's plenty of psychological data about this, behavioral data. Everybody with eyes who have hung out with a bunch of different men and a bunch of different women, had brothers and sisters, had sons and daughters, knows that there are tendencies that are different between the sexes. That's obvious. Everybody's always known this forever. It's not even been questioned ever. And then the last 20, 30 years with radical feminism and wokeness and intersectionality, they've decided that, no, we don't believe that anymore. That's outdated. And we're just going to pretend like if we socially construct people a certain way, then women are going to have the same interests as men. And they're going to be into science and the STEM fields just as much as men. And men are going to want to do women's, quote unquote, women's jobs and roles. And they're going to be just as good of a stay-at-home mom, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, no, man. And then there's so many issues that will come from that, when things are based off of lies. They're based off of because then they're designing curriculum based on this, and parenting advice, psychological therapeutic advice, on on like, you know, this lie that, oh no, they're all the same, it's just socially constructed. It's like, no, you do have to deal with males and females a little bit differently sometimes, biologically, psychologically, therapeutically. You have different expectations. Social media, for example, is the same exact social media, but women are being young women especially, are being very negatively affected by it. Boys aren't being affected by it so great either, but girls are being affected by it in a sense that really badly, because it's easier to bully and relational with female bullying is more it's different than male bullying. Male bullying tends to be more physically aggressive. Female bullying is more you know, relational, right? So it's like they won't invite you to go out to hang out with all the friends, and they'll post it online and be like, haha, we all hung out together, you weren't there, sorry. Or they'll share a reputational, which we see a lot from wokeness in general. Reputational bullying, reputational destruction is a way to tends to be more of a female aggressive act, personality wise. Psychology has showed us this, where like girls will be like, oh no, she's a slut. I've seen this myself. Like girls would do this if they liked me in the past when I was younger, and they'd be like, they saw that I might be interested in another girl, they'd be like, oh, I heard she's a slut, you don't want to talk to her, and stuff like that. And it's like, so these are different, these are just, I'm talking about sex differences now, right? And it's like, this is just one example of where, like, if you base you know, the foundations on the fact that like sex differences, gender differences are socially constructed, like, and then you base everything on top of that, don't be surprised when it all fails. Everything fails. And then like kids are messed up, and men are lost, and women are like, what the hell happened to all the good men? Which is exactly what's happening right now.
And the thing about it, though, getting back to the original, what you said ties into my original point, which is, when you spend a lifetime, when you spend years lying and trying to force things that you know aren't popular or true, you know deep in your heart, most women know deep within their hearts that a man cannot be a woman. They know this.
Yeah.
They know this. They understand this, right? They know that having that men being in women's spaces, they know that it's a problem. Okay. They know it's an issue. They know that it hurt, that they know they feel a violation. They know who this is. They know that the person standing in front of them is a man demanding to be recognized as a woman. And what are they going to do about it? All they're going to do is go right back to how they normally handle conflict: avoidance, appeasement. I don't want to have this conflict, so I'm going to back down.
They don't want to risk being thrown out of the group.
They don't want to risk, exactly. They don't want to risk getting thrown out of their
liberal
soldiers.
progressive group, and most of her friends are all like, oh, fuck Trump, we're never vote for conservatives, they're crazy and bigoted. So like, they don't want to be like, well, they're like, well, this thing is actually kind of crazy, maybe we shouldn't be having men in like women's spaces, maybe we should be teaching little children this stuff. But they don't, that probably maybe most of them believe that, actually, technically, or at least, but a lot of them are maybe, you know, 30% or 50%, 60%, but they're not going to say that out loud, because they might be, this has actually happened too. I've heard this stuff happening where they're like, we're not going to invite her out anymore. I couldn't believe she said that. She sounds like a MAGA crazy person.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's what it is. They immediately,
and you lose your friends.
You lose your friends.
That's a fact.
You lose your status. I've already lost friends because, you know, when I made the decision to vote for Trump, and my, I mean, when we talk about Evan, like, oh my
Evan
God,
Barker.
I think about, Evan Barker. Shout to we around these parts, we refer to her as the Queen Apostate.
She's the Apostate radio work wife.
Exactly.
She's our work wife.
Wow. Wow. Oh God. So no, like, there, like, when you like I was saying earlier, and I'm gonna make this quick because we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
When your entire worldview, when your entire sense of being, your entire sense of self is based on lies and requires other people to lie for you, you become evil.
Yeah. You
It
become like a tool of
turns
evil.
you,
Yeah.
it turns you into an evil person. And then what ends up happening is there's a desperation that starts to build. As you see the desperation,
You see that in the Democrats now.
unhinged, the unhinged nature of our political moment is because these people know that the lies they've been telling are running out of power.
Yep. People aren't buying
That's
it.
what this is about. No one is buying the gigantic 6'4" beast in the women's locker room being a woman with a dick. No one's buying this anymore.
No, as they should.
No one is falling for the whole they them paradox, right? The whole they them, where I'm sitting here talking to one singular being who claims to be non-binary, and so I'm going to use plural pronouns to describe my to inform my singularity. You are literally trying to drink oil and make it water. You are drinking oil, expecting everyone to call it water. I'm sorry, that makes you evil. When the second, and here's how I don't know if I've told this story before. Oh yeah, I think I have. But when one of the first dates that I went on with my ex, with my DEI ex, was to a drag show. Okay, and I've told this story. Went, supported him, had a great time. About a year later, because I hadn't seen him in a while, I asked my ex about him, like, hey, how's he doing? Haven't seen him, because he's like this was her coworker, and she and my DEI ex goes, well, they're doing fine. They're doing fine. But what I haven't told you about was the response afterwards. That was 6 years ago. I knew what the pronoun game was. Well, that was back in 2019. I knew what the pronoun game was by that time, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing this." Those were my exact words. Oh no, I'm not doing this. The reaction I got from my ex mortified me.
Yep.
The dysregulation, the screaming, even the screaming that she was doing in text form, where she referred to my refusal to play along as like not using his preferred pronouns, and I refused to do it up until the day we broke up, or up until the day she left me. I would not play along. She described it as nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way, man, about it. Like the other way around. It's like I'm not gonna call you a they when you're one person.
Exactly.
You know,
and
I mean,
I
like,
refuse.
I'm not changing up English grammar for you. Like, it's narcissistic to expect me to do that. Just pick a goddamn pronoun that's appropriate for you as an individual. Good Lord.
And I'm not. Yeah, and like I said, I'm done playing around. I never started. I never started.
Me neither.
I was never with it. Like I said, I lost my account for 119 days back in 2021. So I'm well acquainted with this garbage. But the fact of the matter is, when your entire existence, when your entire belief system is based on lies, that's how you end up with struggle sessions like the ones you just saw.
And that's how you end up with Democrats who just lost a election against who they think is a fascist, literally Hitler or whatever, and they're totally confused about what to do about it. It's like, you don't have to be confused. We've been telling you for 8 to 10 years. Rogan's been telling you, everybody, it's all that whole podcast world. Everybody on his goddamn podcast has been telling you. And you just listen to them. Consider it.
Yeah, you don't listen.
This isn't a fucking mystery, but they refuse to accept it. They're blinded to it. They're refused. They're rejecting it. No, la. I can't believe it. It's like, okay, then continue. You persist in lies. You persist. You persist in this mountain of all this foundation of absolute horseshit. Woke horse shit that is not true, and you wonder why it's not working.
They would not
snap out of it.
They would not
come back to reality
they would not repent of their sorceries, to borrow from the Book of Revelation. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. This has been fun. Nice
it's
little
a lot of fun. Nice morning.
morning.
Woke me up today.
Yeah.
Thank
nice
you,
little
Mr. Gray.
morning. Nice little morning discussion. Before I know I got to go to work in a little bit,
Yeah.
but I want to thank those of you. Looks like we've got 1,175 viewers who've been here. Thank y'all
Nice.
so
Thanks,
much
guys.
for coming by. So we're gonna try to do these little bonus streams during like maybe once during the week. We welcome any and all questions, comments, concerns. We also welcome financial support at buymeacoffee.com/apostate radio. Subscriptions will be coming very soon. Please like and subscribe on all on YouTube and Rumble.
Follow us too, guys.
Please follow us at Isaiah L. Carter and Nostra Chavez. We're on pretty much every day.
Yep, we'll talk.
Sunday. This Sunday, quick programming note, our show will be starting at 7 p.m. We're doing an hour early, so 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We are once again being joined by Adam Coleman, my great friend. He's going to be talking to us about his brand new book, The Children We Left Behind. That book is tough.
Deeply personal.
Oh my God in heaven. Oof. So
should be
here's
good.
So real quick, this is how it's gonna go. The show's gonna be 2 hours here. Okay. And then at 9 o'clock for about an hour, we're going to have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask Adam all sorts of questions. You can talk to him directly, ask him about the book. If you've bought the book, you can ask him questions about different passages, or you can or we can give information as to where you can pick up a copy for yourself. So with that, folks, thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you. We love you and we appreciate you. God bless and good day.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk on Sunday.
Yeah. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.